constituting virtue in the household. So I got to say, man, that was brave of you to speak from the heart. The truth is, I don't care about whether you call it the Democrat Party or what you want to call it. Now what I want to call upon is for our side. What I think of in this election. I'm running as a Republican in the election, that's fine, but the other side has lost their way. Now it's up to us to level up, to man up, and actually say, what do we actually stand for? See, the other side might give us their own version of poison. We're going to stand for truth. We're done obsessing with the failures of the other side. We won in November of last year. Now it's up to us and say, what do we stand for? We stand for the fact that the nuclear family is the greatest form of governance known to the history of mankind. We stand for the truth that the U.S. Constitution is the greatest form of governance that we've ever discovered and secured the grand total freedom known to history. Let's go back to you, man, and continue this conversation. We'll come over here after that, all right, to this side of the room. We'll go to this gentleman and then microphones. Let's bring it. Okay, we'll go over there and then bring it around over here.
Not to take a whole lot of time. Great job with Doge and everything you did there. It was good to see what you did there. I had a personal experience in Cincinnati. I had a stepson that was caught at 3 in the morning, and he was a white kid. He got caught with a loaded, stolen 9mm and $13,000 where he was down there waiting on drugs. And when he got busted, I thought, this is good. He's going to do some time. He's going to be on probation. Things are going to happen to change this kid's life. And those judges down there let him out of jail after like 20 days. They damn near gave back the gun. I mean, they gave him back all of his money, and then they said, well, you gave him a felony, but they put him on probation, and he was on probation for a month and a half. I mean, how do you get caught as a 17-year-old kid in a parking garage at 4 a.m. with a stolen gun and $13,000, and 2 Cincinnati cops roll up on him on a Segway, and he's completely done in 3.5 months? Why are we giving these people ankle bracelets? Why are we allowing them? Is it a problem that corporations are running our jails? Is it a problem that we don't have enough jail space? Is it a problem? It's not a black and white issue. This is a crime, and judges not holding people accountable. How do we hold these judges accountable for allowing these people back on the streets?
So I'll take this very practical. I'll be brief because I want to get at as many questions. These are great questions tonight. We want to get to as many of these as possible. So I met with Cincinnati police earlier today. We had a very candid conversation, and it included the police chief. And what I will tell you is the number one issue that came up of agreement is that a lot of these judges do need to at least be held accountable through transparency. So there's been a push in the past to say, if you're a judge, at least we need public record telling you exactly in which cases here was the bond, in this cases here was the sentencing, in this cases here was the decision. And yet there's been an objection to even that level of transparency. My view is you may agree or you may disagree, but as the public, especially with this wave of crime, we have a right to at least know what decisions our judges are actually making. And I will tell you, that is one priority for me as governor, to make sure you as the public get that level of transparency from these judges, that if they're letting people back on the streets, at least you ought to be able to know it, to be able to vote them out and actually hold them accountable. That much, I think, is not too much to ask. Thank you. Thank you. Go right ahead.
Hi, thank you for being here. My name's Alex. To play off a little bit of what I think it was Robert down here and over here in the MAGA hat, it's because I think he's right. It's not about more police. It is about our attitudes. And if you have people talking like Robert, then we're never going to get anywhere, because it's not an issue. That's not, like, I think we can all agree that what happened was racially motivated. So what is your plan to fix that? If it's not more police, if it's an attitude adjustment, then what is the fix?
Sure. You're going to go first, and then I'll go next.
First, let me say that we want to hear Robert's voice. It's incredibly important that we do that, and that we acknowledge his feelings, that we discuss them in public forums like this, and not ostracize him, because these are real conversations happening in the African American community, period. Now, having said that the gentleman in the hat is right. That we have families that are broken down. That we have men that are making babies and are not taking care of them. Those are real things that are happening. And we can talk at it, right? And we have a government that has systems in place to keep men from being with those women in those spaces. So those are all real. Now, ma'am, we have to have a certain level of police presence, period. We have to have a reality. We are 200 officers down right now in the city of Cincinnati, and we have to resolve that issue. We've gone through a defund the police, reimagine the police, sending counselors out. All of that is nonsense. Nonsense. African-American families want the police more than anybody. The notion that African Americans don't want to call 911 and have someone respond to their home is absolutely absurd. What all of us want are well-trained officers who approach us respectfully, sorted out, de-escalating with their language, and using force as the last option. Once we get all of that, it's time to allow our officers to do proactive policing and hold people accountable. And judges like Judge Ruman, who's sitting right here, no one can ever say that Judge Ruman will not give you the time that you've earned.
And I'll add to that is that it's not either or. The heart of your question is, you said police aren't going to fix anything. Of course, nothing is going to fix everything. But that's not an argument for not doing the basics that we need to do as well, right? You empower law enforcement to be able to do the job that they swore an oath to perform without fear of looking over their shoulder for being unjustifiably sued or whatever. Then you're going to absolutely deter crime, and that's a good thing. Does that mean you've gotten to the root cause of that crime yet? No. We still have to do that hard work as well. That starts with the education system. Think about how many kids are not in school when they are committing those crimes. 13, 14, 15, 16-year-olds, unconscionable. That's a failure of our schools. What's holding Cincinnati schools back? What happened? We've seen a decline since the COVID-19 school closures. So I went to public schools through 8th grade. I went to St. X for high school. Let me tell you, Cincinnati public schools were closed for nearly a year and a half during that pandemic, while St. X managed to stay open for all but 5 days. And I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't say this, all right? Never again are we going to bend the knee to a fake Anthony Fauci knockoff or allow our public schools to be closed while our private schools manage to remain open. That, too, is not unrelated to the issue of crime. When kids don't show up to school, now we have a chronic absenteeism problem in our schools. They find other things to do when they're truant from school. Back in the day, then if you go back to a judge, you were truant. That alone was the basis for holding who accountable? The parent accountable. So we need to bring back accountability at every level, from police being able to do their jobs and communities accountable to being able to follow the law, all the way accountability back into the family. So it's never, we're going to propose a lot of solutions tonight. It's never going to be that one doesn't solve everything, because no solution solves everything. It's not a silver bullet answer. But we have to look at every solution as contributing to help us get to a better place. That's what we're going to do in Cincinnati and do in Ohio. We'll come over here. Where do we have the next question? Right over here.
Hi, my name is Jill Amy, and I'm wondering if you or Sarah could elaborate on the TCAP reform program, where the courts and the services receive money when judges keep felony 4 and felony 5 offenses out of prison, and I read about it from you. So thank you so much. I was appalled to find out that we're making money by keeping felony offenders out of